Hello, YouTube. I'm Brick Smith, and welcome to Forever Sorting with Kevin A. Hinkle. Uh, as you got in the title above, tonight is a special, very special night because we are going to discuss the life and times of Brick Fair, Alabama. As you guys know, the Deep South Lug will be in attendance along with Kevin A. Hinkle.
The pause is always perfect.
There it is, yeah. And other special guests that we have this evening. I haven't met him. I don't know his name because I haven't met him yet. I'm just kidding. I've known him for years. Or have I?
I don't think so. I think it's still for debate.
Leave a comment down below whether or not you believe I've known him for years or just the jury will be out for that one. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on down to Kevin A. Hinkle.
That always, I mean, it's the best. It's the best.
I'm very proud.
I don't want to confuse him with Kevin N. Hinkle.
No, see, and our special guest, Andrew, spoiler alert.
Oh, is that his name? Andrew, I'm Brick Smith.
He's one of those people that, you know, has met my son in real life and knows of the other Kevin Hinkle in existence. Not to be confused with the other Kevin Hinkle on YouTube that's a professional joyologist. Let's not bring in.
Also have a new one that has just merged. It's bricking it up. He is a fall in Arizona. He goes by the moniker Kevin B. Hinkle.
Does he really? No.
He just picked that up. That's how we decipher the two of you from the live room. In the live room.
Kevin
B.
I actually love it. So hey, everybody,
that's not really his name. His name is Kevin, but I just want Kevin to realize that there's not yet another Kevin Hinkle.
There's not another. Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's all good. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming back again.
Don't forget I got questions for you, Kevin.
What?
What? Go do your intro, and then remember I got to ask you questions.
Okay. Don't forget to ask me questions.
There it is.
So thanks everybody for coming around. Sorry, my throat is a little scratchy today. If I sound a little weird. I do have an emergency cough drop. Ready. But thanks. If you guys have any interest in following me, you can find me on social media at Mr. Kevin Hinkle on every social media platform there is, at least all the important ones. I'm starting up bringing back my MySpace page. I'll let you know when that's ready. Yeah, I'll make it up for my band. But also, if you have an interest in following my artwork, because I'm a freelance artist, you can follow me on my art account, which is at Mr. Hinkle Draws, which is also on social media. And last but not least, I think I forgot this last time, but I also produce a comic series for LEGO fans called Bricks in the Middle. And you can find that on bricksinthemiddle.com or social media at BITM Comics. And also printed in every other issue of Brick Journal magazine. So hey, thanks for coming and joining us. We do have a special episode today. We are all about bringing the hype because we are soon embarking on Brick Fair, Alabama 2019 in Birmingham. And so to help us there, I was just about to ask if the hype horn was ready.
You ready?
Never let me down. Never let me down.
Yeah.
Before we have a little introduction from our special guest, do you want to ask me your questions now?
Yeah. First off, Kev.
Okay.
Who are you wearing?
Oh yeah. So today I'm wearing a Brick Fair shirt. But this is not the logo that I redesigned for Brick Fair last year. This is an older shirt. This was for 2 years ago. I don't remember, but it was. This is a giant X.
Oh, is that what that is? Oh, okay.
but see, not to be confused with. See, it's the same thing with like iPhone X, and Weapon X, because it's a 10. It's for 10, not for the letter, but it's for. That was the year's theme of the event was 10, and so the logo was morphed into a 10 Roman numeral X thing. So that's
your camera. Nobody can see your pink bucket. Adjust your camera, sir. Adjust it. We can't see the words on it. Come on. There it is. Thank you, sir.
I'm holding this is the smallest pink bucket I could find.
There it is. The other question I have for you, Kevin, before we get started is, what are you doing with your hands?
That's a personal question.
Ooh.
So today I am back into disassembly mode. So I built a lot of sets actually, and I just finished taking pictures of them, and now I got to take them all apart. So remember Minnie's being taken apart.
Now, funny enough, here's the trick, folks. You may or may not have seen the episode where Kevin built it yet.
Yeah, it's all.
So this might be completely backwards, and you're going to maybe notice that I had hair, then I didn't have hair, and then I had hair again.
Through the power of the internet.
To the power of love.
Where's your continuity director, guys? Got to get your act together here.
I know.
We break the fourth wall as much.
We need a Pablo Hidalgo to come in and straighten us all out. Andrew might appreciate this guy. I got this.
Oh yeah.
I bought this at Walmart for $11.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Sounds about right, doesn't it? Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Now, Kevin, why would Andrew appreciate that?
Well, that's a great segue. Hey,
I'm a big Star Wars fan, obviously.
It's just Star Wars. Okay.
Who's this guy joining us today? Would you like to give us a little introduction into who you are and why you're here?
And why you would like buildable figs? Folks, I already know because I met him tonight.
Sure. So, hey, everyone. My name is Andrew. On the internet, I go by Black6, and I run a website called BZ Power. And we've been going on for forever and a day, talking about Bionicle and buildable figures and other fun Lego stuff. So, I've been a Lego fan my whole life before Bionicle existed, but, Bionicle really captured my attention when that came out. And joined a site back in the day and ended up running it now. And so we go to a lot of conventions to show off all sorts of, construction creations and kind of spread the good word and keep it alive, even if Lego keeps canceling it on us.
Absolutely.
It is unique in the spirit that you have something so grand that has not only died once, but it has died twice.
Yeah, it's not like it was a theme that was around for a year or two. Like they made it's a 10-year theme, and they're like, yeah, no, we're just killing it. Oh, we're bringing it back again. It didn't do well. It's gone again.
False alarm.
Yeah. Oops.
Sorry. That's insensitive. But yeah. Sorry to interrupt you.
So, all right, Andrew. The reason let's do background. Let's do a full give us Dark Ages. Did you ever stop playing with Lego? Of course, Bionicle was your favorite theme. Where have we seen you besides BZ Power? By the way, go subscribe. The link will not be will not be down below. There will be not a card up here. You're gonna have to Google him, folks. BZ Power.
Is it BZ Powers or BCP Tube? What is the?
You can find us at youtube.com/bzpower.
Okay.
That's how I know. That's what I know.
Yeah, we're there. We're on all the social medias. We got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and then of course bzpower.com is where it all started. So you can find links to all those right there. That's your one-stop shop. We've got our message boards there where you can join and talk with fellow fans. We have our front page where we post news daily on all sorts of Lego happenings, share member creations, that kind of thing.
I've actually checked it out. That's a real website, and
it does exist.
I've known him for years.
It has existed longer than YouTube.
Did you fact check that already, Julian? You fact checked?
Of course I did. I stalked him before I invited him over to the Pink Bucket Nation.
He does his homework, I'm sure.
I try.
So I guess
that's an episode. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
All right, so about me. I've been a Lego fan my whole life. Started, I don't know, I had Duplo back when I was a kid, and then just kind of evolved from there to system, to Technic, to construction. Dabbled in a little bit of everything, done a little bit of Mindstorms and robotics here and there, all sorts of stuff. So I never really had a Dark Ages, and a large part of that was because of BZ Power. I joined BZ Power. Bionicle started right before I started high school. So that's kind of, I think, the age where a lot of people kind of get out of Lego as they're getting into those teenage years. Lego is not cool anymore, or at least, this was, 15 years ago. Lego wasn't the cool thing. These days, I think it's a little different.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely think there's has been a shift in culture. Maybe it's a little better for kids these days.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a cool thing anymore. But because I had found this website where I found other fans who love Bionicle and stuff, I kind of stuck with it. Went all through high school and college. I stopped buying a lot of Lego and stuff because I had moved out and was in dorm rooms and stuff, so I didn't have a lot of space, didn't have a lot of money, but I was still following everything. And then once I got out of college and got a big boy job and had some disposable income, I just kind of dove back in. You can see some of my shelves behind me, not quite as organized and neat as Kevin's, but there's a lot of bricks.
Anybody ever as neat and organized as Kevin? At least you don't. Now, the question of the hour, real quick, before we move on, real quick, a real poignant, important question. Do you rip the hands off your minifigs?
I did when I was a kid.
That sounds like a childish thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, it was like a red tote that had 2 or 3 16 by 32 base plates that kind of slid in on the top of it, and it had little compartments inside, and I used that to store all of my minifig parts, and I had one for each part. So one was legs, I ripped the legs off the hips, so I had legs, I had hips, I had torsos.
Exactly the way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and all that. But I guess since these days, most of my building, I don't do a lot of minifig scale building, so most of my minifigs just kind of stay together and get tossed in pick-a-brick cups or little tubs and stuff.
God, I've got a shoebox full that I don't mess with. But
I'm telling you, in 3 years, everyone's gonna be doing it, and then you guys are gonna be
you're gonna convert back to the proper way of
the proper way. There's the official position of Forever Sorting.
What?
There is no proper way to enjoy your hobby.
That's a good one. I can agree with that.
That definitely is part of it. So we are. I don't know if we were done or not. Are you done? Yeah.
I guess that covers a lot of it. I never got out of Lego. I just kind of stuck with it. Started buying more after college, and just kind of never stopped. It's been a lot of fun. Started going to conventions in 2006. I think DC, the Washington DC area, was one of the first areas that there were Lego conventions, and so I kind of got in right at the tail end of Brickfest, not to be confused with Philly Brickfest.
Right, I know what you're talking about.
So Brickfest was, I guess, the first U.S. convention, and so I got into the tail end of that, and that kind of stopped happening in the DC area, and it was replaced by Brick Fair. So the first Brick Fair was in 2008, and I was there, and I've been to every Brick Fair ever since.
And not just there, every location.
Yes, every location. I've been, Alabama, New Jersey, New England, and I am registered for North Carolina in 2019. So keeping the streak going.
What now are you going to display in Alabama?
Still working on it, but we're working with our members on BZ Power to have a nice collaboration going on.
Can you take a brief moment to explain your convention circuit thing that you do for the BZ Power members? Because I think it's amazing.
Yes, please. Yes.
Yeah. So since BZ Power is an online site, a lot of lugs are based in a geographic area. We've got your WAMA lug in Washington D.C. or Con lug in Connecticut, etc.
I got you.
They're based in a geographic area, but the thing with BZ Power is we're all online and we're all spread out across the whole world. And since Bionicle kind of was targeted at a younger demographic, our members, especially back in the day, tended to skew a lot younger than most lugs, which tended to be adults and stuff. We had a lot more teenagers and young adults in college and stuff who didn't necessarily have the budget to travel to conventions. So it started, I believe, at at that Brickfest 2006, we had a contest, and as part of the contest on BZ Power, if you were a finalist, you had to send your mocks to a person so we could display them at Brickfest and have like an in-person voting. And we kind of like spiced it up by like the theme of the contest being you had to have like a play feature in it, so we could show off the play features in person, and that kind of added another level to it. And we kept kind of doing things like that, and it slowly evolved to be like people who couldn't make it to Brick Fair would just send their mocks to someone who would bring them to the show. And back then it was just Brick Fair Virginia. But as other shows started up, and some of us were able to go to more shows, we're like, well, if you don't mind parting with your mocks for the year, essentially, send them to us, and we'll tote them around and we'll display them, everywhere. So we've brought them as far south as Alabama, as far north as Canada, and as far west as Portland, Oregon. So we do a lot of coordinating with people who are in those areas. And we'll show them off at those different shows, and kind of for the people who can't make it to those shows, they get to show off their mocks anyway, and it kind of shows kind of a lot more of the breadth of Bionicle building when you have more builders who can have their mocks on display.
That makes good sense. Now,
it's a beautiful thing.
All jokes aside, I got a quick question for you about another convention. Did you go to Philly Brickfest in 2016?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. And do you know who built the Bionicle skeleton that was sitting in a chair?
I know that mock. I can't remember the name of the builder because he has displayed it at Brick Fair, Virginia. So I have met him. I can't remember his name offhand.
Like I've never seen anything. I was like, what? That's Lego? You're lying.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 feet tall. It's pretty ridiculous.
I didn't know what Bionicle was at the time. I barely know now. You're the only reason I know anything. Okay. Well, there's that. Now, again, you speak of being at every single Brick Fair event since its inception. Now, I'm a Philly Brickfest kind of guy because I do the YouTubes. And it's a cross-pollination type thing. But my question to you is this. Now, you're on YouTube. I have seen you at Philly Brickfest. But Brick Fair, is that home to you?
Yeah, Brick Fair is definitely home.
Okay.
Started in the DC area, which is kind of where a lot of our members from BZ Power first started congregating. So like Brick Fair Virginia is kind of like our home convention. And, going to that for the first few years and getting to know a lot of the people who run it and stuff, made me want to keep going to the other shows. And there's just a good vibe, I think.
Yeah.
And something else, if I may.
Go right ahead, Kevin.
Oh, sorry, excuse me.
By the way, I have to direct Kevin is coughing and playing with Lego. So I'm having to bounce. I don't get to rest. I don't get to let it go on free flow because Kevin.
Sorry.
Jerk.
Sorry.
How dare you, Kevin?
But so one of the things that I noticed, because I've been in a very fortunate position in traveling to almost every single show in the continent, is that Brick Fair Virginia is definitely, like, when people ask me, quote, where do the Bionicle fans go? It's like, Brick Fair Virginia. Like, I don't even hesitate. Like, it's just Brick Fair Virginia. And it's insane. Like, it is next level insane because you guys could have, and not just like the BZ Power contingent, but there's, different variations, but Bionicle fans in general. Like what? We're talking, it could be like 100 of just Bionicle fans, if not more.
Wow.
It's pretty ridiculous.
and the display area, anyone that's been to a Lego fan event knows the typical con setup where you have a table and a tablecloth and you put mocks on it, and you got a circle and there's stanchions. And Brick Fair Virginia is the only place that the Bionicle section is always like 2 tables deep. There are like risers and tiers to separate because there's so many models, and that it's also a typical problem to run out of space. Bionicle at Brick Fair Virginia almost every single year. It's like, can we annex the military display? Can we take over the trains? Like, it's insane. It's
wherever we can find space. Yeah, I don't know. We always ask for like more tables, and then something happens and we keep getting more. And it's crazy because like we joked about before, Bionicle is kind of dead, right? I mean, Lego canceled the theme in 2010, and then they brought it back in 2015 and canceled it again in 2016. So we had like those 2 years, but even then it's still stronger than ever. And last year at Brick Fair, Virginia, kind of to Kevin's point, we had someone there displaying, and he came from New Zealand. And so, we're talking to him, and it's like, so why did you come to this event? And he's like, just everyone says, Brick Fair, Virginia is the place to go for Bionicle. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. Just the scope of builders we get, and it's the word of mouth has just spread. And yeah, they know that if they want to show off their Bionicle stuff, Virginia's the place to go.
Okay.
I was trying to find my program from last year from Brick Fair, Virginia, because the map is so telling. Like when you look at the back of the map, it's got the overall layout of the expo hall and the different sections and what they're labeled, and it's like military or pin lug or whatever, and it's just like this whole wall is like Bionicle, and you're like, that's not right. That can't be right. That can't be right. Like it's not real. But it's I'm sorry, I couldn't find it.
You're fine. It's all right, Kevin. You can do better next time.
Yeah.
It's a challenge, Kevin.
So now, I have heard in the past, and then I'm just gonna name nameless, keep the places nameless. I've heard of smaller conventions or a convention that is not where its home base is. Sometimes are not as good as some of the home bases are. And I'm asking, is the smaller conventions like Alabama, like we're getting ready to go to, is it much drastically different or just a little different?
For Brick Fair, the non-Virginia events, I would say, are a lot different, and it varies from city to city on how different they are. Because it's all in the people who go, or maybe not all, but a big part of it is the people who go. And Brick Fair, Alabama is great. I love visiting every year. They've got great food in Alabama. The barbecue is awesome.
Well, you're in the South, man.
So definitely a good thing. And the area in Birmingham has changed a lot over the years and become a lot friendlier to visit, I think. Not like crime or anything, but just like more places to eat. They've done more road work and stuff, so it's a lot easier to get around and easier to find places to eat. I'd say the big thing with Alabama is there's a lot more families who go. Like I think the percentage of families is more as far as the AFOLs. Okay. And so a lot of times, they're there for the public hours during the day, but then, maybe in the evenings it's not as crowded. Whereas Brick Fair, Virginia, there's people there until they kick you out of the convention hall. Like there's like dozens to hundreds of people there, and it's a scale thing too, right? With Virginia having a lot more space and having kind of that prestige that it has from building up over the years, you have like 6 to 7, 8 times as many AFOLs attending. So it's just a scale thing.
Okay. But how about displays? How's that? Not in comparison to Virginia, but is it? Because there was an event, I'm not naming names. There was an event that was not the home. It was on a road show. Mm-hmm. And there was literally, I was told, 3 or 4 people displaying and maybe 5 or 6 vendors, and that was it.
No, I mean, Alabama, you still have like at least 100 AFOLs displaying.
Okay.
So there's still a wide variety of mocks. Some very impressive builders. You've got, MC Lug down there, and Tennessee Valley, and Dixie Lug coming in. Florida usually sends some people there. So,
by the way, just I know we haven't talked about this, Andrew. I hate to cut you off there. Me and my friends here in North Florida are prepping and starting, and Lower Alabama. Are starting a lug. It's called the Deep South Lug. So we're actually going to be displaying, at least 2 members are going to be displaying in Alabama.
Yeah, see, there you go. I mean, there's a lot of different groups. I think Brick Fair usually does a pretty good job of reaching out to the local clubs, and at this point, because it's been going on so long, there's a lot of good word of mouth. So, when it comes to new city, a lot of the lugs are like, "Oh, Brick Fair," that's that show that a couple of our members went to a few years ago in Virginia, and it was awesome. So they always turn up and have some great displays.
Absolutely.
So great train layouts and cities, and MC
Now-
Lug usually does some fun stuff.
Now, unfortunately, because of the way that things are going to go, I'm going to sneak my mock in on Sunday and put it on my buddy's table. I'm not actually officially showing. I'm just going to put it next to his.
Gonna miss out on all the fun.
I would love it, but just like Brick Fair, Virginia is your home. I got to make it back to mine, which is Philly. So
That's fair.
if I could take the whole weekend and display, I would, and maybe next year I will, or year after next. But yeah, I just have to. I see if Bender will let me sleep at his house.
There it is.
There it
I'm
is.
sure it'll be fine.
I don't even have to
He's
ask.
got a comfy couch.
There you go. Oh no, I'm gonna sleep in the bed. He can sleep. He can take a couch.
You can. I'll take your bell. I love it.
Yeah. There you go.
So sorry guys, I had to step away. I had a 5-year-old emergency upstairs that I had to address. But
It took 5
It's
years.
been going on for 5 years. Yeah, wow.
it was a long emergency.
By the way, in case you guys are wondering, me and Andrew have eaten dinner together. It was not tonight.
See that now that the challenge at the beginning to write in the comments, have we or have we not met? Like these snippets of clues throughout the whole.
That's fair. They
But
may
we don't know if
or
he's telling the truth or not. He could be making it all up.
Or did you?
some of it's true, some of it's false. Sorry about the interrupting you, Kevin, with your 5-year-old emergency.
No, it's fine. It's all good. It's done.
Yeah, it took you 5 years to get it. That's good.
It took 5. Yeah. No, the emergency was with a 5-year-old human being.
Oh, I'm glad we got that cleared up. Phew.
Yes.
That's a lot there.
Are you sure it wasn't with a city in Texas?
Well,
I see what he did there. See, yeah, I've had 23 episodes with this guy. I've been or 20, 25, 26. We've had special guest stars.
huh. So, yeah. So, what are we talking about? Brick Fair.
We were talking about the crappy road shows at some AFOL events where there's 3 or 4 people displaying and 5 or 6 vendors.
Yeah.
And that's all you get to look at.
Yeah. Anytime you're at a show where the vendors outnumber the displayers is a bad omen.
It's always scary.
It's like, nothing wrong with vendors. Vendors offer some cool stuff. But when you have more vendors than you have non-vendors, it's not a good experience.
So, okay, I got a quick question for both of you. And now here's the thing. I have never been to any event besides Philly Brickfest. I love Philly Brickfest. I'm not expecting this to be the exact same thing, considering I'm going on the public day. But what should I expect, and what is going to be the coolest thing about what I get to do during that public day?
Ooh,
It's a Sunday.
it is. It is a Sunday.
And I'm going. Is it just going to be running into Andrew and Kevin? Is that my highlight?
Of course. So, I'll start, Andrew, if that's all right.
Yeah, I figured you might have the inside scoop on some announcements, maybe.
So, as I've more than likely have mentioned before, all the different fan organized events have a different flavor. A different flavor to them.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there is a lot of shared concepts. So, there will be things that are going to be familiar no matter which event you're going to.
Mm-hmm.
But what Brick Fair, I have noticed, really leans into heavily is the fair concept.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think of a fair, you think of like a carnival. You think of like, the little stands with the striped tents. And, you throw the ping pong ball into the goldfish bowl. And that is very much embraced at Brick Fair. So there are a lot of kind of carny games that are Legofied. Andrew's actually had experience in firsthand operating or manning many of these during the public time.
And I'll be doing the same at Alabama.
So you can of course go visit Andrew and play whatever game he is hosting.
Yep, you can.
So you guys are telling me I can't have lunch with you guys?
I get lunch breaks.
Lunch happens.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta do better.
I don't know whether or not all of the lunches will coincide at the right time.
Yeah, that's always the fun problem.
Yeah, but so there's a lot of different Carney games that have been Lego-fied. So there is the throw the ping pong ball into the bowl. If you win, you get a bag of Lego parts. There's also
They do this for public. They do this for the public. There, or just the APOL.
This is focused on the public, actually. Yeah, it's available during the private hours, but it's more for the public.
Okay.
And I think usually during the private time, it's only really used when maybe there might be more alcohol flowing than not.
Make that a drinking game and when I come to display.
Right.
Now, Andrew, I want you to know something. I am not an alcoholic. However, I do enjoy a tasty adult beverage on a regular basis.
That's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm just letting you know. I don't want people to think I'm a lush over here.
The other thing that Brick Fair has that I think is rather unique, and at first I didn't know what to think of it, but I've come to find it one of the many Brick Fair charms is a bunch of like crane games and again, think of a carnival, think of a fair. So you think of like you put the quarters in and you can do the little like claw that will get you candy.
Yeah.
But it's getting you Lego pieces. So you have like a little arcade game, and it's pulling up, and there's also the
quarter pusher.
Yeah, the coin pusher game where it's pushing the coins out.
Yeah, I'm good.
And it's pushing out like bits of Lego and pieces.
I'm gonna go broke. That's good to know. Okay.
And then also the claw, the classic claw game.
Yeah.
But there's like orbs, and the orbs are filled with like either little Lego sets or poly bags or bricks or whatever.
Nice.
And these are kind of sprinkled throughout it's kind of again, when we're focusing on the public, it's kind of cool, it's different, and it leans into that. There's also some concepts I've seen elsewhere. So I've seen like the derby. I think all the events are doing the derby thing now. So there'll be a derby.
By the way, according to Brick Smith, I have no interest in the derbies.
That's fine.
Any car I make, I'm dead last. It doesn't matter. So I usually make the one that's too big to go through the finish line, and that way it breaks when it goes through.
There you go.
Photo finish for the Smith.
Destroying it, yeah. Watch slow motion, folks. It's worth it.
Yeah. And so let's see what else is something unique. So
wait, hold on. By the way, Kevin, have you met Andrew?
I have.
I know. I have a question for both of you, but you decided to take it over.
No, I was just answering it.
Do better.
There's I guess starting in Alabama last year, we had the Mosaic Big Build, which not a new concept for events in general, but it was the first time we'd done one at a Brick Fair.
Yep.
Actually, no, I think it was New Jersey was the first time, but yeah, so I'm sure we'll be back at Alabama. There's bingo.
What is that?
So basically, you take like a if like a Lego mosaic people make with 1x1 or 2x2 bricks or whatever. So think of that, but think like 20 feet by 15 feet. So like a floor mosaic kind of thing.
I did one of those in Philly. Yep.
Yeah. So everyone gets like a little square that has like 10 by 10, and you fill that in, and it gets placed on the larger mosaic, and everyone kind of contributes. Nice. Kevin is very familiar with that as
that was my Alabama activity. This year, we're still in 2018, people. That was at least while we're recording this, but not when you're watching it.
Correct.
But yeah, that was actually, if I remember correctly, I think Hoosier and maybe Chris came and visited me maybe in Brick Fair, Alabama, and I was doing the mosaic. Maybe I'm wrong.
That might have been.
I remember there was some people that
been to Alabama.
Okay, maybe you're right. Somebody. There was like 2 or 3 people that came.
Was it Brickstar?
No, it wasn't Bricks. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm mixing everybody up.
Or did a shout out? He didn't shout you out specifically in a video, but he said that his and I hate to cut this off, but it just struck my memory when we said Brickstar. He has a case on his special shelves of his favorite minifigs, and Kevin Hinkle's sig fig is on that, and he mentioned that specifically, and then moved on to other things on the shelf. That was
nice.
15 figs in there, but the only one he talked about was you.
Thanks, Brickzar.
There you go. That was
now the question is, which variety was it? You know, which
it was one of those.
It was one of the variants.
Yeah, it was
yeah. But yeah, I was operating the floor mosaic activity, and I remember that there was some AFLs that came to visit. I mean, they came to visit the event, but they wanted to talk to me, and I was like, I'm sorry, I am operating a 20-foot mosaic. And so like I kept like, I would get like 4 words in, and then I'd have 6 kids waving things at me to come pick up. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. And so they sadly went away without really any engagement time.
They didn't get the full Hinkle experience.
No, they didn't even get a partial. They didn't even get the Hink. But yeah, so the floor mosaic will definitely come back. I think that's probably now a staple for a couple years. Yeah. What other?
There's bingo.
Oh yeah, bingo is a very Brick Fair thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very one.
I think I was watching somebody's Brick Fair video, and I think I saw them playing bingo. No, that was nope. I saw that was the one in Chicago.
Brick World.
Okay, yeah. Did they do it there? I know they haven't forever.
The Brickhead family were playing. Him and his children were playing it.
Oh,
maybe during public. I don't remember it.
No, it was.
I remember the Brickhead family there, but I don't remember playing bingo.
Yeah, I swear I could have swore I saw the video because I watched a lot of their Brick.
Brick World that's another one. This was actually my first year going to Brick World, but it's one of the larger conventions. It's right up there with Brick Fair, Virginia. So a lot of times there's like 3 or 4 things scheduled at the same time, so you kind of just got to pick and choose. So I've played plenty of Lego bingo in my days of Brick Fair, so I probably passed out in Chicago then.
But yeah. So, but yeah, and Kevin has always said that you got to make the circle of BrickCon, Brick Fair, Brickfest, and then did I get them all? I missed one, didn't I?
BrickCon Seattle,
Big World,
Brick World Chicago, and Brick Fair Virginia are like kind of the big top tier big 3.
Yeah.
And that's just it's in terms of numbers.
Yep.
And number of displayers and AFLs, and also public.
Yeah.
Also, it's number like years of existence and how long they've been there, and like the following that they've established.
Yeah, and they tend to have like a lot of the more impressive displays. Like people will plan all year round just to go to one of those events to like debut their mock,
Yeah.
And you don't see it like anywhere else in person, kind of thing.
There was now we have a specific. I'm going to shout her out. We have a specific one that went above and beyond for Philly Brickfest this year, and her display. It was the Jurassic Island by Haley Bricks and Brickanic. So if you get the opportunity, check it out, Andrew. You were there.
Yeah, I saw it.
Andrew was there. Yep.
Sure was.
Your first time, right?
No, this was my second. I was there the very first year.
Yeah, you and I were there. Yeah, you know what? That's what Andrew and I both went to Philly Brickfest year 1.
Right.
And then didn't go back again until this year, 2018. Which is when we're recording it, not when you're watching this.
There you go. But yeah, I hate to always bring it back to Philly, but that's all I know.
No, but hey, Philly's good, man. Philly's good.
Philly's got my heart. I don't even know if it's right or wrong, or if it's good or it's bad. It's what I know, and I love it.
And it had definitely like changed a lot in that 5 or 6 year gap between me going to there. It was definitely a lot improved, and there's some great displays this year. There's like a huge Star Wars display in the back there, and some stuff like that. And
that one, yeah.
And definitely a lot of good stuff there.
And Best Town was
I don't know.
saying I won.
But
someone's tuning their own horn.
There was 2, right? There was 2.
What's that?
Two Rockies.
Oh yeah, I won for Best Castle.
There's the other one.
Oh, and also Best Collab for the Brickheads.
There they are.
The Sig Fig Brickheads. Yeah.
I love it.
3 total. I had to build my own multicolor one though.
Not to brag.
Not to brag.
So, what else can we say specifically about Alabama for Brick Fair? I think Andrew and I both have firsthand experience in realizing that the downtown city of Birmingham does not really exist on the weekend.
Oh, we talked about that while you weren't around.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, I talked about how it's improved, right? There's a lot more restaurant and eating options than there used to be.
So there's actually a really funny photo, though, that has a story, because, of course, everything has a story.
Everything has a story.
Everything has a story. But so when Andrew and I, maybe this was the first time we were both at, no, it wasn't the first. Well, we were both at Brick Fair, Alabama.
It was the first Brick Fair, first or second Brick Fair, Alabama, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was the very first one.
Okay, and we were like, let's go have some lunch.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't just us. I think there was a group, but
I think there was maybe like
a couple.
I know there's two other BZ Power people, and there's Jim and a couple other AFOLs.
Yeah.
I think Jim split off. They decided they were just going to go to the subway for like the sixth time, because that was all that there was that was really close by. And we're just sick of Subway. We're going to go find something else, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That led to a walk around lovely downtown Birmingham, trying to find a place that was open on the weekends.
Pointless.
Yeah.
Such a waste of time. But it made one of the most memorable moments for us. I'm trying to find. Can you talk a little bit about the story? I'm trying to find a photo.
Sure. So yeah, it was you and me, Kevin, and two other people, and we're walking around, and we're just kind of walking down the street, and we pass this park, and it's a nice little park in the city. It's got trees and a fountain and stuff, and there's some landscaping, and there's like a pathway like going into the park, and there's like a little retaining wall next to it. And we're just walking by. We noticed some people kind of sitting on the wall, and then we noticed that
something was afoot.
Yes, that there's something different about these people sitting on the wall, and that was that the person at one end of this row of people had like an apron kind of thing on, and that was because he was getting his hair cut in this park.
It was a park.
On the weekend in Birmingham, Alabama.
Wow. And yeah, there was it was so crazy. It was like seriously like we had walked into an outdoor barbershop.
Yeah.
And like people like had newspapers.
Wow.
And they're like sitting there waiting, and there was a clipper like and there was power somewhere. And it was right next to this pole. Like there was the pole and like a little like cement little wall, like a minor little wall. And that's where the action was happening. And we're all walking kind of, hungry and desperate to find some food. And we're now kind of just over it because we've walked around downtown for 30 minutes finding nothing open. And so we're like on our way back, I think, at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole group of us Lego fans.
Yeah.
Like we know we're weird, right? But this is something new to us.
We all just see it. And we walk by, and no one says a thing. We just walk by. This is happening, and I'm pretty confident I was the one that broke the silence. And I was like, "So, Birmingham," and it was just. And so we went back the next year or 2 years later or whatever, and to celebrate, this was me and Andrew taking a picture next to the pole. If it will get not blurry.
There it is. Next
to the pole in downtown Birmingham, where the haircuts were being given.
And you didn't find any plugs, though.
It wasn't there that time, and I remember going, "Where's the outlet? Like, where was the power coming from?"
Hey, Kevin, spoilers.
Yes.
They have battery-powered clippers.
Don't do this to me.
Yeah.
Why do you do this to me?
Yeah, he needed it. Yeah, thank you, Andrew. He needed it.
I know. Also, I was just reminded that I have a photo. Maybe is it from 2013? But if you remember from 2018 at Philly, when me and Brixar were talking about like Brixar, we've met a few times and you don't seem to remember. I have a photo of me and Brixar.
I remember the year that a bunch of us went out and scavenged for some food, and we had like a whole group of us, and you were there. You like talked your ear off that entire lunch.
Yeah, I was like, Let me see.
Apparently now he remembers you enough to treasure the minifig.
Yeah.
Yeah, now.
Oh yeah, here we go.
What year is this now?
This is actually the same year, so this is 2015.
2015.
So again, wait a brief moment for it to focus. There's a group shot of me and a bunch of Lego fans.
There they are. They might be bricks.
Sorry, there's glare. Okay, there you go. Right, so you see Andrew on the end. He's wearing the orange shirt.
Wow, his beard has grown.
Right, and then next to him is Joe Mino, who's the editor of Brick Journal magazine, and then next to him is Brickzar. And there's they might be bricks, the little youngster.
Yeah.
And then there's Dan Pecora. Oh, and then we went out. And then Donna, and then there's Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Wow, I forgot his beard was that short.
Yeah. Tony is one of the
it's in a ponytail.
It is. Tony is one of those other people that has been to every brick fair.
He's one of the three.
But yeah, so look, Brickzar, we had lunch together. Yeah, that was good times. Good times.
Brickzar.
So yes.
We got you, Brickzar.
So we got you. So yeah, what else? I mean, hopefully, if any of you guys are listening to this and you are near, it's reasonable. Come and visit it. Give it a shot. You know, see what it's all about. It's not too terribly expensive for a public ticket. If you don't want to take the full plunge.
And honestly, folks, personally for me, and just off of what before even I got talking to Andrew about it, but honestly, with Andrew and Kevin and the way they've talked about it, Brick Fair, Alabama, had I had the time to take off for it and display, I would have happily. I'm going one day, and we're representing the Deep South Lug, so that's happening. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if you can make it for the full event, there's lots of games and stuff during private hours. Like a lot of shows do different, speed builds and parts drafts. Plenty of opportunities for free Lego. So I think normally you can do a pretty good job of covering the registration price with the free Lego you get during the show. If you make sure you sign up for games and stuff and do some parts drafts and everything. A lot of fun, chance to meet new AFOLs, make new friends. There are definitely people I've met in Brick Fair, Alabama specifically that, I keep in touch with and stuff. I think one of the things that really sets Alabama apart is just how darn nice most Southerners are.
Oh. I don't live here.
No, that's because you're too south. You're too south of Ricksmith. You've gone too far. There's that belt.
Everyone's like super polite. It's always interesting during the public hours. Everyone is like all dressed up, in their Sunday best on Sunday and coming in. And I've been to shows, brick fairs and other events where like you really have to worry about the kids like touching mocks and stuff. Brick Fair, Alabama, that is not a problem.
They drop back and nub. It's called home raising down here.
Exactly. It's excuse me, sir. Can I take a closer look? Of course you can look at it, but yeah, no, that's sir and ma'am, please and thank you. Definitely very polite down there. Everyone's so friendly. Great atmosphere.
I always have a memory of my first trip ever when I landed in the airport there and got off. I'm like walking the little walkway back off the plane into the airport. And the lady was there. She's like, welcome to Birmingham, y'all. Welcome. I was like, nobody ever welcomes me. I was like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, dirty it does.
And then Morgan Freeman starts talking to you.
Oh yeah, right. Like he has like a voiceover ad.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman does the voice of the Birmingham airport, so that's another perk, It's a selling point right there.
It's so good. And yeah, I have to admit that when Brick Fair started, Brick Fair as an entity started to grow and started to expand into new markets. And when it got to like its its peak a couple years ago, where there was 4 happening within 1 year, which you had the Alabama, the New England, and the New Jersey event. I was a little surprised that Alabama, without a shadow of a doubt, has been the second most successful brick fair after Virginia, after the flagship. All the other locations have come and gone and moved and taken a break and come back and switched venues and swapped dates and stuff. But Alabama has stayed the same since the first. It popped up, and it was in that like Martin Luther King weekend time, and it's just stayed there, and it's just grown and grown and grown and grown every year. I was a little surprised. I said, okay, out of all the locations, I would not have guessed that would have been the.
And the public, seem to love it. I'll talk to people who come all the way from Atlanta and stuff just to go to the show and everything. So clearly the public enjoys it too, enough to come back year after year.
Yeah.
So I got a question for Kevin. I'll take my answer offline. I like to do that. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Hi, I'm Brick Smith, and you are? No.
Right. And who are you? Yeah, it's good stuff.
So the question came for Kevin. Now, all right, and this may be spoilers for the regular Forever Sorting episodes, but I got to know. So, Kevin, you said that last year you did Mosaic.
Right.
Yeah. Now that was January of 17.
No, of 18.
Of 18. And I know that you went in August.
What? Wait, what month was that?
It was June, July, and August. I don't remember which one Virginia's in.
Right. August.
I know that you have a lot to do with Brick Fair.
More so than I used to.
Correct. When did that start and why?
When did the Mosaic?
No, I don't care about the Mosaic. I'm talking about your involvement with
okay.
the company of Brick Fair.
All right.
And I guess his name is Todd, right?
Yep.
Okay. Why, how, when, and why did you become okay, I get Andrew. I'll probably ask Andrew the same question, but he's been rocking and rolling every single Brick Fair event forever.
Right.
As a fan and as a BZ Power entity, it makes sense. But Kevin, you work for the Lego Group. Why do you have such close ties?
Well, so it's a very valid, good question.
I know, that's why I ask it.
That's why it came from you.
There it is.
Ask the hard-hitting questions, Kevin.
Ooh.
So as I mentioned earlier, I was very fortunate in that I've almost been to every event in North America that is fan organized and fan run. There are a couple exceptions. Like I've never been to Bricks LA, so I've never been to the Los Angeles event. But a majority of them I've been to. So I have built over many years a rapport with all of the quote unquote owners. They all go by different titles, whether it's the producer or the owner and operator or the showrunner or whatever you want to call it, the person who's in charge. I have a pretty decent rapport with all of them. And when I was no longer an employee of the Lego Group and I was putting a lot of emphasis onto my freelance business, one of my first kind of whatever you want to call it, in the Lego world, we would say low-hanging fruits. One of those easy victories was that I had some opinions, as we all do, on Brick Fair's branding and its like visual identity. Like I not necessarily anything having to do with like how the event is operated and all, but like just visually, I had some like thoughts, and I had those thoughts forever. But Brick Fair, that was the one that was more, it piqued my interest the most, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And so when I started doing that, I definitely proactively reached out to Todd, who owns Brick Fair, and I said, hey, like, hire me to like fix your identity.
So what you're saying is you stalked Todd till he gave you a job.
I mean, a little bit. It wasn't too hard. But he did say, well, tell me first what you're thinking before we take this any further. And so I did. I shared some of my thoughts on what I thought about his approach to changing his logo every year. Like what this shirt is, like a different logo. So for a number of years, depending on the event's theme of the year, whether it was fire or birds or weather or whatever,
Right.
he would change the entire logo to match it. And so one of my criticisms was I said that I didn't think that was a good move because that would cause brand confusion with the public.
Absolutely.
And so like that was something I shared with him, saying, well, here, let me prove to you my value. And so I was like, you need like one unifying, simple, cleaned up logo that you never change.
Yeah.
You just keep it the same all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I'm listening. And so I kept like sharing stuff about that. And he was like, all right, we can do this. So when we first started working together, it was very much I'm an artist. How can I help you with my art? And so I did, the very first thing I did was redesigned the logo. That was it. And it wasn't drastically different. It was just cleaned up. It was vector because there was no vector Brick Fair logo before.
We did discuss this the last Brick Fair.
The special for Virginia. So yeah, I did that. He liked it. And then the next project was doing the program guide, which I think I remember showing and talking about that. And then it just kept evolving. And so I was like, well, how about I just get like, how about I do this? And he was very much on board. He was like, dude, I would be, I remember, Todd says stuff like that. He's like, dude, I would be stupid if I did not like take every bit of information you have and use it because of what you've done. And so for my travels and my experiences with all these events and all these owners, something about Brick Fair. And I can't really explain it more than that because Brick Fair is not my home con.
Got it.
Like if you really were to say, well, Kevin, what's your home con? In all honesty, Brick Fiesta is my home con. I was there for year one, and I was there during the first lug meeting that Tex Lug did where they said, good news, everyone, we're going to have a con next year. Like I was like from ground zero.
Gotcha.
But so Brick Fair is not my home con. And there's just something about it. The energy around it. There is, every event has criticism. They all do. Oh, yeah. There's things that the community doesn't like that they do, or they do like that they do. But for some reason, I feel like Brick Fair doesn't have as much as all the others.
Interesting.
Maybe I'm totally off base, but I feel like over the years, there has been far less like really harsh criticisms about Brick Fair than there has been about other events. Okay. And that usually when there is criticisms, they're like, oh, but I really just want to help him. I don't like the way he does this, but like I'll help him do that. And I hear that a lot. Like people genuinely care about Todd. More so than I think a lot of events have. There's a love for an event.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a love for the person who runs the event.
Interesting, yeah.
And, not to say that there's people that don't like Chad or people that don't like Brian, these people that are behind the events. But I don't see the same level because people genuinely care for Todd. They throw him surprise birthday parties.
Oh, nice.
They send him gifts. There's like this overwhelming love for this man.
Yeah.
Whether he knows it or not, I've told him several times. I'm like, Todd, this is unusual. You need to realize it's unusual. And people are always like lining up to tell him, hey, I don't like the way you do it like this, but I'll do it for you. Just tell me when and where and how. And Todd is very hesitant to like take that from people. Like he tries to, he doesn't want people to think that he's using them or that, so he's usually very hesitant. And that also causes people to get frustrated. They go, Todd, let me help you. And he's like, no, I'll get it. But it's something about Brick Fair. And so, it's the one event that I had, put myself out a little bit more, saying, I'll help you do more stuff if you want, Todd.
Okay.
And so when we were on a boat, which Andrew was also on this same boat,
of course,
in 2018 when we were on a cruise ship, Todd and I had a very long, semi-serious conversation, probably at a ridiculous time at night over pizza or something. And I told him, I said, Todd, if you're game, I'm willing to share everything I've seen and observed over the years from all these events and things I think work really well and things that I think don't work really well.
What is your role now? Who are you to Todd and the Brick Fair family? Family? Is that correct? Is there 17 syllables in that word?
There is.
I think there might be. And sorry,
no.
I know I'm really not trying to ignore you, but I'm so used to bouncing questions off Kevin.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
Not giving you what I feel like is a fair shake or enough time and credit.
No worries.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting because
Kevin's just like moving on.
Brick Fair doesn't have like proper titles or organizational structure.
Got it.
Because Brick Fair really, at the end of the day, is Todd and Todd only. That is what it is, because it's a one-man entity. But there is an inner circle,
Okay.
and then there's probably one more layer out, and then there's everybody.
Okay.
So the most inner of circles, that is when you have people like Matthew, who owns and operates all of the Brick Fair social media accounts. So Matthew, who I've mentioned before, who's my partner on Bricks in the Middle.
By the way, Matthew, thank you for liking my photos on Instagram. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
From Brick Fair? Is Brick Fair
Yeah.
So
my stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So that is
Matthew. You don't know.
so that's Matthew. So Matthew's like inner circle.
Yeah.
And then there's like Tony, the guy with the beard, the ponytail, who's also been to every Brick Fair. Tony, if I had to give Tony a title, he'd be like logistics manager. Because Tony is very hands-on. I've seen this now from behind the scenes. Like Tony knows how everything is to be set up, how it is to be set up. What are the things that are going to snap your finger off? So don't touch it. What's the right tool to use for the right thing? But like he has all that memorized. Nice. And so Tony is totally like logistics guy. And he goes to all these. He goes to every Brick Fair, and he will be there from setup to teardown, and he sets all the stuff up.
Okay.
And then you have me, and I am serving in a couple different roles. Obviously, I'm here for any graphic needs, which has.
Are you DuBois? Are you a DuBois? Is that what
you're the art director, right?
Art director.
Yeah. Get in the comments. Give me a fancy title.
Yeah.
So I am obviously artist on demand. So it started with just the logo, and then it turned into the program guide. Then it turned into the mascot. Then it turned into the shirts. There are new shirts coming out in 2019. The event. And it kind of just goes from there. It's like, we need coloring pages. Make us coloring pages.
Oh, I hate to stop you real quick, Kevin. Real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I go to Brick Fair, Alabama.
Yeah.
19, which is what's happening.
Right, which is happening.
Right. Hang on one second. I got to sneeze. There it is, folks.
Bless you.
Am I going to be able to buy a Brick Fair Alabama 2019 t-shirt? And if so, will it be in my size?
Okay. I don't know what sizes he's ordered.
Okay.
What is your size? I think we normally. I'll say. I won't put you on the spot there. I'll say we normally go from like extra small to XXX. So.
Oh shucks. Andrew, I am between 4 and 5X. Yeah. I don't know if they normally get that high. I don't think anything ever gets that big, and Bricks on the Dollar just like I can't help it.
Kevin's letting you down. That's how it is. That's what he does.
That's what I do. It is what I do. I want to say.
Go ahead and you guys find a printing company that does a 4X, do one off, and I will spend an extra $15 to buy it.
We would like to buy one shirt, please. That is 4X. That'll be $175. So you got it.
How that works? That is not how that works.
I know. But yeah, I think the shirts will be available by Alabama because they've already been ordered.
Okay.
But they're not specific to the location. It's Brick Fair. And and it also doesn't have the date because that was another thing I said. Don't put dates on shirts.
See, so that has been the fun thing that went on in 2018 and even into 2017 a little bit was Kevin was talking about the logo and how it changed every year. Is that Todd has been trying to get rid of a lot of old stock? Because what do you do when at the end of the year you have a shirt with last year's logo on it? Or even some of the early shirts you did had dates, and so it's hard to sell that again. So I think Kevin has convinced Todd and other people have talked to him to simplify the number of SKUs. If you want to talk from a retail perspective,
look at us, we're getting fancy now.
Reduce the SKU counts to make it a lot easier to know what to order and how many and that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's that. As I mentioned, just artist on demand, and I'll do that. I have also served in move crew capacity, and so move crew. When I mentioned like the circles, right? Like that's probably like the next circle, because there is a small group of people, usually maybe 4 to 5 people, that will go, and their job is very logistical oriented. And it's just set up the stuff. And so I've also served in move crew for Alabama. I didn't do it for Virginia because move crew kind of kills you. I mean, this is where we separate, the
men from the boys,
the men from the boys, and it's just it's rough. It is a learning experience. And so Andrew he's been in move crew as well.
Never quite as officially as you.
Not from not from the moment when the truck backs up, but he's been there early to help set things up.
I understand that one.
And so there's a move crew, and there's a couple other people that do go to all the brick fairs and they do move crew, but that's all they do is they do the move crew.
They're essentially kind of like employees for Todd. Yeah,
and during the time when they're not moving, they will run some of these carny games and stuff that need to be operated, or like the golf. There's a golf thing too.
So does that take away from your experience as an 8-ball, or does that just enrich it?
I do really enjoy.
Andrew, shut up.
It depends on what you're doing. I've done a little bit of everything at Brick Fair over the years when it comes to volunteering. Mm-hmm. I started helping out with like setting up floor pads and stanchions, and that is a very labor-intensive job. And that will really take a lot out of you. You learn real fast to bring a pair of gloves because those floor pads can get gross.
I am planning to buy my pair of gloves for Alabama.
Yeah. And it depends on, but like for doing floor pads and stanchions, if you time it right, like it doesn't necessarily take away from the experience that much because you can kind of do it in between things, or for some things like floor pads, you do it before most of the people even get there. And Todd is always good about, thanking his volunteers. Mm-hmm. In the past, he's given us kind of gift cards to the Lego store. These days, he gives us free Lego sets and stuff as kind of a thank you, free shirts.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not go volunteer to Todd just because you're going to get some free swag. You go to Todd because you heard of it on his show. I'm going to tell him not to give you anything. And yeah, so if you want to volunteer, keep in mind the parts Kevin and I said where it'll take a lot out of you, right? It is work. He will put you to work. This isn't just going to be like sitting around, doing nothing.
And Sunday, man, Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah. You have 5 days to set it all up, and then it all has to go down in 4 hours on Sunday.
Sunday is the day of 1,000 days. It's just, and it's so rough because Sunday's a public day. So Move Crew is there, and you're on, and you're doing a thing all day Sunday. And then while everyone else is like, time to go home. And you're like, time to get to work.
Yeah.
And you're like, but wait a minute. I thought I've been working for the last 10 hours already. And it's like, yeah. I mean,
but everyone packs up their mocks, and that's the end of their day. And that's kind of the beginning of yours after you've been working all that time.
After you've already had a day. It's like, oh, man.
Yeah, and I've definitely killed myself doing that kind of stuff a few times. So I try to plan things a little better as far as what I help with and stuff. So as Kevin mentioned, I usually run one of the Carney games. I usually run the ring toss with my girlfriend. So we'll be there, and I find that's a nice balance because we get there early, we set it up before a lot of the AFOLs are there, and then it's done. It's done for the private days, right? Thursday and Friday, don't have to worry about anything. Can play all the games I want, hang out, go to seminars, set up my mocks, and then Saturday and Sunday during the public hours, you're stuck there most of the day, but I've been going to these conventions, since 2006. I've kind of seen most of what there is to see. Public days can get a little boring and stuff, so I don't mind not having to be sitting, behind a table or walking around amongst the throngs of public as they're enjoying the show. I already have my time to enjoy the show during the private hours, so don't need to get in their way.
Okay.
So it's a nice balance for me. I have done things like run the check-in desk. That one sucks.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Todd definitely made it worth your while for a time being, but it was still pretty rough because you're stuck there during the AFOL hours. Nice. And you can get volunteers to help to give you an hour or two breaks. You can go play a game and stuff, but you're stuck there, and it can drag on, and and then there's a customer service job. So if you've ever worked retail or customer service, what that can be like. You have people asking you the same questions over and over again. Sometimes you can get people who are not in the best of moods, and
which is always a different one, right? At every Brick Fair, there's one thing that has happened, so a miss somewhere, and if you're at the desk, guess what? That's your one that you're gonna get all the whole weekend. What was it, Virginia?
We're the program guys.
We're the program guys. That's 700 times. It's they're coming. They're coming.
Yeah. So that one is not my favorite, but helping out, hosting a seminar, running a game, those are always fun. I enjoy those a lot. You get to, meet new people depending on who signs up for the game and stuff. And you get to mess with the people as they play the game, which is always fun too. So that's always cool too.
Yeah. So I want to get back to the part out or the parts draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is a personal question. Can I get either you or Bender to go ahead and are you guys doing one on a Saturday night, right? I assume.
I don't know what the schedule's like. I mean, there's usually at least one or two official Brick Fair parts drafts, and then some people may kind of plan their own.
Okay, you guys, let me know. I don't have to be part of it. I want to give you the money when I get there to buy me into this, and then I'll just when it's your turn to pick, get me bricks. The most bricks you can. That's all I care about. So yeah, I know I did it live. I do that. Yeah, that's what's happening, folks. I like to keep you let you know what I'm planning. So there.
Part drafts are awesome. You can get some great stuff like that in quantity.
Were you part of the one last year at Philly Brickfest where they did the Go Brick Me Head or whatever it was?
I have drafted that, but not at Philly. But yeah, that's an amazing set.
So many 1x4 bricks. It wasn't even funny. By the way, I enjoy the bulk brick that. I don't care about the glasses. I don't care about the wands. I don't care about the stickers. Give me the brick. Because you can build buildings with bricks.
Yep.
You can't do it with wands.
Well, no.
No, you can.
You could do...
Challenge accepted.
There it is, folks.
Here's my wand building I built for Bricksmith.
There you go. Kevin, I told you what time it was and how long we've been going.
Yep.
What do you think?
Yeah, so I think that's some good little snippets about.
I feel good about it. I'm even more excited to go. I don't care if anybody else realizes that or not. I am super excited. And yeah, Andrew, I know I talk weird. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Let me see if I can briefly check. I'm curious how many people have signed up to go to Alabama as displayers or AFOLs or whatever you want to call it.
I know Brickman Underworld's going to be there, and then I'm going to throw my stuff on his table.
So let's see. As of Saturday, December 22nd. Spoiler alert. That's when this is being recorded.
Oh man,
I'm sorry. Magic is ruined.
2 days away from Kevin's birthday.
That's true.
My belated birthday now.
There are 143 people currently registered
For public days. For
display. I think definitely after the holidays, there's going to be a rush at those last couple weeks.
Yeah, Andrew, there's a lot of people. I like that, Andrew.
Yeah,
Putting on the big screen.
I was actually just trying to check the same thing, and yeah, there's 143.
There it is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But if anybody, if you can, it's a good show. It's a good show. It's fun to come out and see if you're near it, if you're close by.
Hey, guys, I'm gonna cut Kevin off. How much does it take? How much is a ticket to get to the fan experience?
Let me look. Hold on.
How much?
public is $14 at the door.
Okay. Somebody told me 25.
No, definitely not.
I think that's Virginia. I think.
That may just been my brain. I may have just put that number in there because I'm Brick Smith.
And for the A full experience, it is $85. But if you pay before January 4th, it is only $65.
Okay.
So you still, depending on when this comes out, you may or may not have missed the deadline. I'm not sure what your schedule is.
This is, I think, coming out on the 6th or the 13th.
Oh, okay. So it's $85 to register.
That's all right. It's still cheaper than other places.
Yeah, and now for the next show, you'll know to register early, or if you want to come to North Carolina, you can still get the early bird registration deal.
North Carolina. When is that going to be? What
is that in March? Yes, March 21st through 24th is North Carolina.
Wow. Nope. No, I'll be going to Philly in April. Sorry.
That's right.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and put Andrew on the big screen. Andrew, I'd just like to thank you so much. AKA BZ Power, AKA, what did you say, 6 Black or Black 6?
Black 6.
Black 6. Glad to have you as an AFOL. I'm Brick Smith. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Andrew.
Absolutely, you are. We appreciate you coming on Forever Sorting. If you guys, like I said, go ahead and follow him, subscribe, check it out. The link will not be in the description. There will not be a card. You're going to have to find him. I promise you could go through my Instagram or Kevin's and you could get to him.
Yeah.
Also, he does like a live stream on Saturdays, right?
It varies. Yeah, it depends on when I can squeeze it in.
Nice.
We built the 2018 Lego employee gift earlier today.
All right. Do you work for Lego?
I do not.
Andrew, I do that, but that's okay. I was giving Kevin a hard time because the conversation we had before you got here. It was not about you, not in a negative light.
No.
Okay, so there you go, folks. That's Andrew.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Can we do one last hype horn for Brick for Alabama?
Sure, but I want to make sure you guys know that when you go watch Kevin's videos, watch it to the very end, and he has a laundry list of social medias longer than anyone else I've ever effing seen.
Me?
He's on all the social medias.
It goes from this side of the screen to that side of the screen, and there's little icons, and there's 150 of them.
Yeah, there's it's all of them, man.
Yep. I hope you are ready. I am ready for Brick Fair, Alabama.
Brick for Alabama.
I will see you there with my 2 new friends. Andrew, I've never met before. So with all that being said, I'm Brick Smith. That's Andrew. That's Kevin. And remember, you got to sort those bricks. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.